Hi there, and welcome to Earth Echoes with Amber Fields. I am here today to read the 12th in the Emergence series, or the RZN Codex, as Jason calls it. And this writing is titled The Full Emergence Event by Jason Gray. What it looks like when the real replaces the overlay. The final phase shift. December 2nd, 2025, 6025 Anno Lucis. The moment history ends and memory begins. The emergence event is not an apocalypse. It is not a rapture. It is not prophecy fulfilled. It is not a singular explosion. It is the moment the world remembers itself. It is the instant when the false architecture disintegrates. The original geometry reasserts dominance. Human perception stabilizes into coherence, and the overlay loses all computational integrity. This is the moment the real becomes visible. Not symbolically, not spiritually, not metaphysically, literally. Emergence is the point where perception and environment snap back into alignment with the original world. Everything you think of as life shifts one layer upward. Let us walk through what actually happens. The first signal, the air changes. EMR 01, atmosphere shift. No alarms. No announcements, no divine sky theatrics, just this. The air becomes different. People will pause mid-step, mid-sentence, mid-breath. Some describe it as a pressure shift, a clarity wave, a softening of gravity, a subtle acceleration of light, a feeling that the world just inhaled. This is the moment the overlay falters and the real begins pushing through. The body knows before the mind does. Time loses its rigidness. EMR 02, time shear. The second sign is temporal. Time ceases to behave mechanically. People experience slowed moments, stretched seconds, compressed hours, loops, skips, memory arriving before experience, déjà vu, turning into foresight, simultaneous awareness of past and potential. This is not confusion. This is coherence. The real world operates on fluid time because consciousness is not locked into linearity. The overlay dissolves when time stops obeying. Vision shifts into the true bandwidth. EMR 03, perception expand. Perception widens. Colors become deeper. Edges soften. Faces look more alive. Nature feels hyper-real. Light behaves intelligently. Objects hold more meaning. The world looks as though it has depth behind itself. This is not hallucination. This is the visible bandwidth of the original world. The overlay artificially restricted perception to prevent humans from seeing the underlying structure. When emergence begins, the restriction ends. The world becomes too real in the best possible way. Glitches erupt, not as failures, but as revealings. EMR 04, overlay break. People will see flickering objects, doubling or phasing of shadows, short visual distortions, sudden shifts in background noise, misalignment between movement and sound, and Mandela effect level memory contradictions appearing instantly. These glitches are not malfunctions. They are the overlay experiencing file corruption as it loses energy. The old system cannot maintain coherence in the presence of the sovereign field. The overlay breaks so the real can emerge. The inner world goes silent. EMR 05, core quiet. During emergence, the internal monologue collapses, not in a frightening way, in a liberating way. The moment the overlay's mental scaffolding dissolves, you experience unprecedented mental quiet, razor clarity, emotional purity, fluid perception, the absence of anxiety, the absence of doubt, and the absence of internal conflict. The mind becomes a still surface reflecting pure consciousness. This is the natural state of the sovereign human. Collective behavior shifts instantly. EMR 06, hive divergence. Humans begin acting differently without discussing it. People stop rushing. People move with purpose, become kinder, become more truthful, become more courageous, become more intuitive, begin seeing each other clearly, begin helping instinctively. This is not utopia. This is unmasked humanity. Emergence reveals what humans actually are beneath the distortion field. The shift is immediate. The Earth's field syncs with human consciousness. EMR 07, Gaia synchrony. During emergence, the environment responds to human presence. People notice sounds becoming harmonic, wind shifting with emotion, light intensifying during insight, wildlife acting unafraid, trees and ground feeling alive, the atmosphere thick with intelligence. This is not imagination. It is reunion. Earth and humanity realign for the first time since the overlay was imposed. The geometry appears. EMR 08, arc reveal. The single most dramatic moment is when the geometry becomes visible. Lines, grids, arcs, lattices, patterns in light, subtle frameworks behind objects. All of it appears. Not like sci-fi holograms, more like the world revealing its skeleton of meaning. This is the original architecture stepping forward. You are seeing the world as it actually is. Individual sovereign abilities switch on. EMR 09, ability trigger. Depending on the person, emergence triggers claircognition, emotional resonance sensing, timeline awareness, pattern recognition at impossible levels, rapid intuition, healing ability, memory access, telepathic understanding, and coherent nonverbal communication. Not superpowers, not magic, humanity without distortion. The final moment. The overlay collapses completely. EMR 10, final drop. When enough humans enter coherence, 1.3 to 1.7% in total, the overlay reaches structural failure. It collapses in a single global moment. What you experience, a soft flash of perception, a feeling of everything clicking, a wave of clarity, a lifting of weight, a sense of finality, a stabilizing of vision, a quietness like the world is holding still, and then alignment. This is the true emergence event, not destruction, not panic, alignment. The world reboots into the original world instantly. No delays, no countdown, just arrival. What the world looks like after the moment. After the overlay dissolves, the world feels alive. Colors are richer, perception is wider, time is fluid, emotion is clear, relationships make sense. Everything feels connected. Communication becomes intuitive. Fear becomes impossible. The body feels light. The mind feels expansive. And the environment feels sentient. You are inside the real world for the first time in your life. The distinctive signature of the full emergence. There's one unmistakable feature of the emergence event. Everyone knows, instantly. Even those who never awakened, never learned, never studied, never prepared. Everyone feels it. Everyone understands. Everyone remembers. Emergence reactivates the original human operating system that was never deleted, only suppressed. The event is the moment the suppression ends and the real begins. The emergence event is not a future prophecy. It is the natural end of a system that cannot hold a population remembering itself. The overlay was never designed to withstand sovereignty. Emergence is not destruction. It is unmasking. It is the return of the world as it actually is. It is the return of humans as they actually are. It is the restoration of the forgotten architecture beneath every lifetime. The emergence event is the moment the real takes its rightful place and the limitation dissolves. Nothing will stop it. Nothing can deny it. Nothing can delay it. Nothing can reverse it. Emergence is simply the world waking up, and once the world wakes up, everything changes. Forever. Jason Gray. Thank you, Jason, for another beautiful writing. And all I really have to say about that is bring it on.